Hi, I'm Fred Winholtz. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the new JunoTTL flash from Phottix. It's an upgrade from the original Metros Plus flash. I've been using their system really since it came out, doing a lot of weddings with them. This flash, the original Metros, still with me after about 5 years. It's been through a lot of abuse. They're built like a tank, very well built. And when I first started out, I had the original Odin. It worked great. But one of the nice features with Phottix was they always had the ability to upgrade your equipment. So through a firmware upgrade, when they released the Odin 2, I was able to have the capability of the Odin 2 with all 32 channels over the original 4 channels on here. So that was a very nice upgrade for that. Now on the JunoTTL, they've taken this a step further. What this has really introduced is the first product that has the Z upgrade or the Z firmware that Phottix released built into this unit. So what's the Z firmware? Well, it added a lot of nice functionalities, and I'll go over some of those in a little bit. But again, through firmware, I was able to get most of that Z firmware built into here, which is great. But this one has taken it a step further. So let's kind of go through the differences. Metros Plus has a 24-105 zoom. The new JunoTTL 24-200 zoom. So they've improved that. A couple of other features on it. They've changed the diffusion dome. The original one, which I don't have on mine right now, is just a curved dome. They've added a lock button here on the head. A lot of people have asked for that. So it'll lock in at 90 or 180. It'll lock so you can spin it. There goes my foot. But you can go in either direction. So that's a new feature. So it'll lock in place. You can always go to the -7 degrees, but it'll lock at the 90 on here. So nice feature that a lot of people ask for on that. They've also kind of simplified this a little bit. You've got a universal Canon for, power pack, to add a power pack, battery power pack. And then you got your firmware USB port here. And they've added the old-fashioned PC sync. So many people were asking about that on the original flash, so they went ahead and added that onto this flash. This still uses AA batteries, but they've improved the circuitry so you get a faster recycling time. So let's go back to over here. So I got my off and on the screen here. And you won't be able to see it on here, and I really can't do it justice here, so I'm going to kind of go through the menu. They've simplified menus on here. Really just 2 menus on here. I go to receiving mode, and what they've done, just like they've done on here, I got wireless off, so it's just a normal flash. I've got Odin transmitter, and I'll go into that a little bit. Odin receiver. I've got Aries 2, which is the Aries 2 has been out for a while. The original Metros had the Strato 2 built into it. So this now has the Aries 2 with all 16 channels for that. But the other thing that's pretty cool, it has Skyport. So those that don't know what Skyport is, that is Chrome's radio system. So they basically put in the dummy receiver of Skyport into this flash. So anybody that's using Chrome, you now got another tool to add to your mix here to be able to use a speed light. You do set your power manually. But the other nice thing is it'll work with the Chrome version of the Sekonic meters to trigger them. Just like this will work in the Aries mode, first 4 channels, to do the Phottix version of that. So a very, very useful tool on that. So let's go into that. I'm going to continue on to that menu. So then we still have the traditional optical receiver and transmitter, which should be proprietary to the manufacturers. This flash happens to be the Canon. It's the first one out. So if I put this on my Canon camera, I have dedicated TTL, all the functionality for like a Canon flash is on camera. But when I go into off camera into Odin receiver mode, what I like about this, I have a Nikon trigger here. So I can shoot a Nikon camera, have this Canon flash off camera, and I can fully control this flash with my Nikon transmitter. It's part of the Z firmware update, where I no longer have to have the proprietary flash on the receiver side. Receiver side is universal. So at least for the Canon right now, Nikon, and then Sony as they come out with that, you can use your trigger and have any of those as receivers and control them, which means I've tested this out. TTL, it works. High-speed sync, it works. So nice features on that. All right, there's also a lock function. So if I set my settings, I can flip the switch to lock, which means I can't accidentally hit any buttons and change it. I've locked in my settings on here. Now, a couple of cool things on here that's different, and so one of the Z firmware features on here, on the Odin 2, which I've upgraded mine, is it has auto metering, which means I set my setting in manual, any setting in manual, fire the flash, and it sets the power level. And now I can go to that group and see if we can get the light on. Let's get that light on. And you can see, hopefully, that I am changing the power level, and you see it. That was something on the original Metros you couldn't do, so now I can see that. The other cool thing is, they came out with an Odin light. So the Odin light is, and I'm going to go into here, is a single pin trigger I can use on any camera. I do not get high-speed sync or TTL, but I'm going to show you I get the same capability. Whoops, let's see if I can, I don't know if you can see that, but I can spin the power level from here. So again, this flash now is fully compatible with the Odin 2 Z firmware, the Odin Light, and of course it has the Aries 2 built into it. Now just double check with the distributor on this for the US, and this is going to retail for $179.95. That's an incredible price, especially what I paid for these many years ago. Incredible price at $179. So you got the high-speed sync, you got the TTL if you're using Odin 2 and have the Z and upgrade your Odin 2 to Z firmware. You're going to have all this capability with this at a very affordable price. So check out new JunoTTL. There'll be some new stuff coming out from them as well. And by the way, the light that's lighting me on this video, it's a very simple video, is the new Phottix M180. And I actually have it at half power. This LED light is the size of my iPhone. It's unbelievable. Bicolor, pretty powerful, long life. You know, so it's just another item that you can check out down the road, and maybe we'll do a video on that as well. All right, thank you for stopping by and taking a look at what we have to offer. So long.